How do you describe a person who has a dream but really no capital? How do they get into this one?
Well, I love the person with a dream but no capital. I have a soft spot for that person.
Don't tell me you start financing them.
No, we can't finance everybody. But they really start to do Kickstarter campaigns, and then they start to build their audience. That's what I tell people. I get calls all the time. Somebody with an idea, and I say, well, what's your budget? Okay, we have a $10,000 budget. This is what we could spend. This is what we could do. You have a $20,000 budget. This is how we could make this work. So, somebody comes with a $5,000, $10,000 budget. It doesn't mean they can't do anything. But I always tell them, spend 6 months, build your audience. Show them what food you're eating. Show them why that, really build that. Because the more you build that, then there's somebody that's going to buy your product. That's the differentiator, in my opinion, from when I started my brand. I started my first brand in 2007 to almost we're in 2020. That to me is the biggest change in this industry as a whole, is social media, Instagram, and social media, and being able
share a couple of success stories. Somebody's, without naming them, they started what product and where they are and when did they start.
Well, my favorite success story is Christian Siriano, and I'll say his name every day, but I mean,
for those of you who don't know this, he is a judge on Runway Junior,
Project Runway
Junior, and I know that you sponsored that show. I see that.
But
believe it or not, my
he had an
9-year-old granddaughter, that's her favorite show, and so she's very happy to see that you and Christian are good friends and so on. Okay, but yes, he's a hero for a lot of young people, and that show itself is a great inspiration to a lot of young budding designers, because it kind of gives behind the scenes a little bit of exposure, the kind of stress that these designers have to go through, the time limits, the challenges. I very strongly believe that whoever put that show together did a wonderful job depicting what this industry is behind the scenes, rather than just the runway.
It's a hard business, but if you love it, you're stuck. Like if you love this business, you can't go home. It's in your blood. His success, I mean, he knew exactly what he wanted to do at a very young age and just didn't stop. And I think that the one most common thread I find that is nobody ever gives credit to, this one thread, is they're nice people. The way they talk to our factory, the politeness in the emails, the way they make us feel like we're a part of their growth, the way there's like a kindness that radiates, versus, we have people that just can never be successful because they can't get out of their own way. They can't figure out how to get people to want to get behind them. And that to me is...
But this message should not be only for young
for
and startup
everybody.
designers. It should be for everyone.
But it is...
we have a saying in the country I grew up in, the fruit. When a tree is fruiting, the branches actually come down. So when you have success, you become more humble. You don't erect yourself, I am the best. You never forget who is behind you, who's supporting you, and who else may help you for your further growth. So your message is, how I read it, that A, be nice, be kind, and be generous to people you work with, because you never know who else is going to become another helping hand in another project. Is that right?
I think that's such an important message, and I think it really gets lost in this industry in particular. In my experience, the fashion industry, I have handpicked a lot of wonderful people that surround me, but the overall garmento or whatever, they sometimes don't have that thread. And so I think coming at it with a little Southern hospitality and being kind and being nice, and it kind of cultivates that. And I think it's a very, very important thread. You know, we start to, as I tell my team, I'm like, sniff it out, you know, like we let people in our factory, but we start to sniff out who we really want to believe in and get behind. And it's mainly in the way that, you know, we're treated by them and the community that they are able to create. So I think being an amazing designer is not about having the best idea or having the best prints or having the best like washing process, or none of that is gonna separate them, because there's always another brand taking their idea and knocking it off, and that's never gonna be the differentiator.
So the person is going to be the differentiator.
Or the person or the team and the culture that they're able to build behind them.
Wonderful.
That's my thoughts.